to the league beats.
Yo.
Sorry.
Hello, world. This is I, Drew the Universe, and the TTL squad. And this is Fadeaway.PERFECT. And this is where we're bringing you inside the stewed, and we're just having conversations and just learning more about creativity. And hopefully we can add value to you and your life, and connect. So we have a bunch of super uber talented producers, entrepreneurs, artists on this call today. So if you guys want to just kind of round the horn, introduce yourself, and then I'll kind of talk about what I do and what I've done.
This is so formal.
Real,
It went from informal to formal. But yo, I'm Rekkids. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
It's gonna get super. It's gonna get super weird because the dynamic is interesting with talking, at the same time. So sharing space is gonna be interesting.
It's already a weird concept because we're on the internet.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird, dude.
It's a nice we got a nice little breakfast.
Yeah, so who the fuck are you?
People jump in, I like that. Speaking of which, I'm Greens, Jay, and excited to be here, chopping up, some light subjects tonight, creativity, inspiration, Crimea.
Are you reading right now?
Climate crisis.
Yes, and we're gonna find solutions to everything tonight. So I'm looking forward to that.
And school shooting.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Greens.
Ooh. Well, what about the underwater alien bases? That's really what I'm trying to get to.
I think Aquaman got to the bottom of that.
I thought
that was amazing, man.
Oh yeah.
I also thought it was hilarious how we put down topics tonight.
No, but you know what? That's
you know what I mean?
It's a good
roadmap.
Like
we could start anywhere.
It's a good roadmap. It's like
I
we're
like
talking
it.
about it. It's like keep the Curb Your Enthusiasm model. It's like you got a skeleton kinda, but go with the flow.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Matthew, your skin looks great, bro. You look healthy.
You know what it is? It's this beautiful ring light that I got. I'm doing the whole
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah.
Like the purple hue. It's doing a lot.
Thank you.
I
might change that later. And who the fuck are you?
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, I'm Suave the Jedi, man of many talents. What is it? Master of none, but jack of all trades. I'm trying to become a master. I think, practice makes perfect. But
a master jacker.
I'm a vibe curator. The master jacker, dude. Yeah, I got stories. Dude. At least twice a day. But yeah,
the master jacker.
The master jacker, dude.
Because he went from master of none to jack of all trades.
Oh,
Master jacker.
I was gonna say, man, I was like, dude, that sounds like you're not allowed around schools. You gotta stay.
Oh Jesus, dude.
He keeps it regular.
With me and my glitter mask.
Yeah. Or you're still carjacking.
I can't wait to get
carjacking.
Who's still unpack that later?
At this point, I feel like
you say who's still a virgin?
No, who's still carjacking these days? I mean, with GPS, geez. I feel like, and trackers, I'm like, what's the point? I feel like that was a 90s thing.
Bruh, I wish I could say that it was. Now that I'm on that little neighborhood app.
Oh, for real?
They have it all the time.
In Portland?
2-3 times a day, hanging out.
No. What I'm saying,
is carjackings and burglaries.
Last year had the highest per capita car theft in the country last year.
I feel like every morning I wake up, I see a new car with a window busted out. There's just glass all over the street.
If you go on Reddit,
well, Cooch Park on the side,
Needle
on the side
Central,
of the street,
dude.
Call that shit Portland confetti.
Bro.
Yeah, that Portland confetti just glass all over the ground because you won't even, when the cars pull off, it's just glass on the ground. and you just see the shit, like, it'd just be a burst of, like, confetti, you know?
That's a fucking good idea.
So sad.
I wanna fucking like explore that.
It's fucked up.
Who the fuck's the last guy?
Me? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
Cthulhu
Yeah, who are you?
Beatz. I make like dark trap and like ambient shit and like experimental shit, and I mostly just produce and play
Yo,
like
yo, yo,
fucking
can you
hair.
Fire
Oh yeah,
shit.
is it not coming through?
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Okay.
There you
Just
go.
need you to do a sneeze.
Is
Just
that
a
better?
sneeze.
Yeah.
Okay, should I redo that?
Straight up.
No, okay.
I mean, I just
Now
want
we
to
can
know
fix it.
the Dark Lord
You're
of
welcome.
the Dark Lord of
I
Trap.
heard you.
Christ.
Yeah.
I heard you.
Yeah.
Dude, tell you something about
Straight
Christian,
up,
dude.
dog.
I there was this hi-hat that I heard on a Suicide Boys song, and I was like, I didn't really know how to use the reverse reverb or like how to really design the hi-hat, and I was like, I wonder who could do that. And it's crazy because, you know, we have that little Telegram app that we all communicate on. So I shot Christian a DM, and I was like, hey, yo, like, listen to this song. You wanna see if you could like create a hi-hat, or do you have any in the tuck that sound like this? And I shit you not, within like fucking 15 minutes, this motherfucker shoots me off a zip file full of like 100 different hi-hat variations that are just fucking nuts. So just like a super talented dude. He's got like fucking a shitload of stuff in the arsenal, man.
Yeah,
It's really cool that, you know, we're all in this space together, man, to be able to like tap in, you know,
Yeah, for
within
sure.
like just a moment's notice.
You could almost call it a metaverse. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, yeah.
Damn.
One mic.
Right.
Damn.
Just,
Yeah, shout out to you, Christian.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
Cheers.
what's
Shout out
up.
to
Yeah.
everybody too,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
Not to minimize shout out to Christian for sure, but shout out to everybody real quick off the bat, because like everybody here makes me want to be like a better producer and like a better person. So I appreciate each one of you a lot.
Oh yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, word, yeah.
We already getting going with the love
Yeah, that's real.
vibes, dude.
That's
I'm,
real
I'm
talk.
digging it.
Nah, dude, you're a real piece of shit, Matthew.
Dude, that's just,
I am a renowned piece of shit.
that's gonna
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
vibes
It's
for the
on my
show.
resume.
Dude, I'm still
It's on
looking for that
my
guitar
CV.
rip, motherfucker.
I know.
It's
I
still,
know.
but it's the.
I'm fucking with you, dude. I'm fucking with you.
He's like, I got you. I told you, bro.
I'm fucking with
I
you,
got
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rekkids is nice.
It's like Christian's got his fucking veins hooked up to the computer, dude.
Nah, bro. I fucking use those one of your
Fuck
drum
yeah, man.
loops, Matt. That which one was it that you put out? It was a nice little diddle, like. Was it the? I can look at my folders right now, but I was searching through your loops.
100%, dude. Like a lot of those.
couple of them.
A lot.
The
Oh
bass
yeah,
riff,
dude.
too.
And by the way, like, just so everyone knows, like, I feel like I'm in a flow state with bass guitar right now. Like, I feel like something clicked recently.
I got
Like, I was
couple
always
tracks
pretty
for you,
good
bro.
at it, but I feel like something clicked recently for me where I like the soft skills of it. I'm like diving into more now, and
Get more into the vibe and don't have to worry about.
no,
the mechanics
it's
so
all
much.
mechanics.
Like
Actually,
you-
it's all mechanics.
in the
actually.
pocket or
Like that.
Interesting.
It's like advanced mechanics.
Mm.
Because like
Quantum
theoretically,
mechanics.
I know how to play. Like it's like mostly like a thing of like practice. Like I could learn pretty much. I mean, like in theory, I could learn pretty much anything on bass. But like I think that like the soft touch is like the intonation, like the phrasing, like it's stuff that's so subliminal that like it's in the waveforms, right? But like the human ear doesn't necessarily like hear a tone, but they perceive it psychologically in their brain nonetheless. Like there's like a lot of shit like that like I appreciate more and more the deeper I get into this shit.
Are you talking about like resonant frequencies?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Resonant
That's interesting
frequencies,
when
yeah.
that happens. Like, yeah. That's super interesting. Have you guys ever listened to Bass Nectar at all?
Yeah.
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 Back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to I went to,
Yeah.
and this is
Fuck yeah.
still, I'm still on the resonant frequencies point, but I was just thinking, like, I remember going to that concert, and that dude, like, he turns the bass up so heavy that you can, like, literally feel it in your chest. It's just, like, you know, shaking you. And I saw him at the Roseland. So Roseland's this theater in Portland. And, dude, he was hitting those spots, the B spots, the, you know, the B spot,
The brown
the
note.
bass.
Right.
Bass.
Dude, the last concert that I was at that was like that, Adam was with me at Moto when they do the little Theater of the Clouds thing where they block off half of it. That's
Dude,
Moto
that's-
Center, the basketball arena.
That's an Oregon thing, by the way. That's not like. Yeah.
Oh,
the
where
way
they block
do it
off
is
half of
different
it?
in the Midwest and
Yeah.
in the East Coast. Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting.
It does.
It kind of works though because you still have that stadium seating effect. It for like the cup of it, and then it's just this big wall that just probably vibrates shit off of it. But we saw Playboy Cardi there, and I swear that shit was hitting me in the middle of the chest. Like the bass was so, and the way they do it is, I mean, I love the fact that like a lot of it is loops. I make fun of it, but I also low-key love it because they just vary it up and they chop the fucking bass so harsh on both sides, like. Boom, boom, like, you know, it pulls back and you're just like, oh my god, I just got hit with a fucking pulse of sound in the chest. But yeah, that bass was serious. I know exactly.
I went to an Excision concert when I was in high school, and that shit was crazy. Everybody was like wearing earplugs and shit. Like
Excision?
Excision, yeah. It was like 200,000 watts of bass, I think, at that concert. I don't know what that like actually equated to.
Yeah, what does that actually mean?
Yeah, what is it?
It just sounds like a lot. 200 watts.
Yeah, 200,000.
Nice,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, that's always a little uncomfortable. Have you guys ever been stuck in front of the speakers at a concert, like, and then you have to like move around the sound? Because I can't just hang out in front of the speakers. I'm like too conscientious about my ears.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
Nah, dude, I was in drumline for years, and pet band, and just like, you know, surrounded by craft cymbals. So I've had tinnitus since I was like 8. Like I can't hear shit.
Do you still have tinnitus?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I mean, now, on a given day, I pretty much live in silence, honestly, bro. Unless I'm like producing, I don't really listen to like music, or if I do listen to anything, it's going to be something like maybe a podcast.
Yeah.
Very low frequency sounds. But yeah, I used to get crazy migraines and earaches and all those ringings all the time, just cause, you know,
Fuck,
surrounded
man.
by brass horns. And, yeah, I mean, it's cool. You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Well, it
It
makes
is what
me. I
is,
think it
but-
gives you
treat it?
appreciation. You know.
You what?
can you treat it? Like,
You can have like cochlear implants that turn down decibels so that you could, you know, be around spaces that might be more amplified.
yeah.
But really, I just like I mix pretty low, even though dude, when I lift, I listen to my shit all the way up. Like I'm pretty sure I've lost some hearing. I'm dead serious on that. Cause like even my mixes are super loud in certain areas, and
Yeah.
I'm still trying to train my ears, but yeah, it's something I'll probably always deal with.
I can hear the difference between my right and left ear because I used to always have like a headphone in high
Do the
school,
click-
like
do
slapping
the
in
click
my right
test.
ear, and like, well, I just hear it. Like I can't hear the high frequencies up here like I can over here. It is what
It's
it is. I
confusing
don't know.
for sure.
It's a little less loud in my right ear, but yeah.
It is because I feel like we've all heard those sounds. And you're like, is this mixed left, or am I crazy? Or I hear my shit on certain headphones, and I'm like, I thought that was over here. That's like in the middle. Like, are my ears fucking out? You know, because I see it as the pan. I see the pan. I'm like, am I fucked
feel
up?
the-
You know? I don't know. I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope so.
Dude, yeah, man. That's crazy.
Has anyone
Oh.
done much work with like phase shifting in that sense of like mixing because like of the confusion there at all?
Does phase shifting just like inverts the sound then, right?
Right, so that's why it's useful, like, when, like, it's a confusing stereo mix, I think.
Yeah, at that
Right?
point, like, there's this, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, a lot of things are mixed differently, right? Like, if you listen to, like, I listen to a lot of the Beatles stuff, and they mix a lot of their instruments, you know, all the way to one side, or, you know, a lot of their percussion, like, you'll hear the whole entire trap set over here, and then they'll be messing with something where, you know, maybe a snare or a hi-hat is over to the left.
Yeah.
Or, you know, when you listen to trap music, it's like the bass is all the way in the middle. You might hear some, you know, I don't know. I think it just depends on what I'm listening to. And I listen to a lot of trap, so that's probably
And
why
that's
my
not
ears are
only
fucked
trap,
too,
that's
but
just modern. That's just, like, almost, like, across the board.
everything's right in the middle,
Yeah.
and then just, like, you know, colorings in the periphery.
Low
It's
end,
just
straight
crazy.
down the center,
Yeah.
and then...
Well, especially if you want something to play on the radio, it's like, you know, you can't, you know, if you have a bass that's too aggressive on the EQ, and it's like, you're going to muddy whoever's going to be singing, and people want to hear what people have to say. And I'm just like, the other thing too is I feel like a lot of rappers, and this is a good question because we got a couple rappers, like I'm a part-time rapper / artist, but I'm more like, I'm more of a producer, but we have some serious artists in here. So Green, Suave, they both are spitters and producers. So like,
Fire.
what's your preference when you're mixing? Do you want to really clear? Do you want to sit in the mix? Do you want to sit like on top of the mix? What's your preference? Because I think you can do both, but would love to hear your guys' take on that.
Jay, you go first, man. I mean, you're the fucking master over here, dude.
Good question, bro. No, dude. No, that's a good question. I actually think in my mind, my first instinct was like, it depends on what you want to do, but I actually think as a rapper, I feel like you got to be able to understand your shit enough and have your vocals stand up enough that like people aren't like, what did he just say? But I also think it low-key sounds corny when it's like too on top of it. Like I always think of like a pancake, you know what I mean? Like the beat's down here and the vocals are so on top of it that it seems disjointed. And that's just me coming from the mixtape era, right? Where motherfuckers would just rip beats and spit over the top of them. And there's no mixing there. It's
Yo,
just
no ceiling.
voice up or down, you know? Yeah, like that, you know, even before that, like that, like, you know, literally like everybody's on the same beat sort of shit. Like a hot beat gets dropped, you know what I mean? Ice cream remixes there were, you know what I mean? Like everybody's just hopping on shit. That's why you hear a lot of dope verses.
Yeah, of course, man.
Oh, yeah.
Throw some D's on it.
Yeah, bro. Throw some D's on that shit.
Kanye getting on
25
that, like,
grinding,
right? You know?
From ghetto to ghetto.
yeah,
dude.
That record's
I
great,
kinda
by
like
the way.
how
That
that
whole
kind of-
fucking record
Which
is
one?
great. Rich Boy's record.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's
oh,
great.
Shit.
I'm about to
That's that driving music. But like, you know, back then it wasn't really about like how your shit sounded mixed. It was just like, can you spit? So when I hear shit that's not in the midst of the mix now, it reminds me of that. I'm like, no, that sounds corny. So to answer your question, I feel like you want something that personally I like to think of like adding a little bit of reverb or breath to push it out. I want like the rap vocals to be, I want the rap vocals to be like if we were in a cipher, like 2 feet in front of me, not like all up on the midst of my shit or like too
Or in the
low,
middle
honestly.
of a warehouse.
But like just enough breath to where I feel like we're standing next to each other and you're spitting to me. You know what I mean? Unless the mix calls for something else. And
Or like
right.
concepts.
Some shit. But
Right.
anyway, that's
Right.
I think that's the cool part about making music now is that we have so much to refer to. Like you were saying, you know, maybe take Wu-Tang, for example. I love listening to Wu-Tang. I'm like a super big Method Man, Redman guy. But like when I think of like witty, you know, in your face, you know, barred up spitters, I think of those guys. And when we're talking about Sonics, it's like their voice to me. You what? The steel. Oh, yeah.
Ghostface.
The fish scale. Yeah, man. Hey, you. But yeah, sonically, it's like I like to think of just vocals as like a jet ski on water, you know? It's like it could float right on it, or if you turn up the throttle, you can kind of skip around it. And like you maybe like with The Weeknd, you know, his voice is more tinny, so you're gonna hear him like kind of sitting above mixes for the most part.
What'd you think
or,
of the new record, by the way? Real quick.
I thought it was tight,
I
man.
fucking
like,
love that record,
mean,
man. Actually, I think it's
bro.
Great.
Yo, I love Super Inspired, man. Like, dude, I've been loving these 80s coming back, like, heavy. Dude,
Just
on the West
heavy,
Coast.
Tory Lanez?
like lush synth heavy.
Tory Lanez was
leads
crazy,
and-
dude.
Yeah,
I mean, but
bass.
if you listen to hip hop, it's coming back heavy. Like, I mean, you know, I'm a big Larry June guy. I was going to ask everybody who their artist is right now. But London Drugs, too, has been coming
London
out with
Drugs is dope. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But it's kind of the 80s. And then you hear The Weeknd coming back with that kind of thriller.
Dude, I was gonna say the first half of it is such like
Heavily
another
Quincy.
fucking
Heavy Quincy.
homage to Thriller.
Yeah.
Like the
Yep.
first half of it. Yeah.
And what a theatrical work
Yeah.
that was. It was just like, I was kind of glued into it. I was like, you know, it's one of those albums where you gotta like, kind of like set aside time to just like pay attention to it. You know how like
It's a headphones
I don't
album.
necessarily reserve. I don't have a lot of time to just.
See, I still haven't had
Dude.
headphones on yet, man. I can't wait.
Dude,
Yeah.
Bro.
For
I
what?
can't wait.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
for the headphones.
Oh yeah.
It's a headphones
Yeah.
album, I think.
Did get it in the car,
Oh
though,
yeah,
which
too.
was good driving out.
Totally. I like that's why I like it, because it's like a the album has like a whole feel of like movement like the entire time. Like it's not it's chill, but like you're walking the entire time. Like you're on a tiny journey. You know what I mean? Like the feel
Yeah,
of it
man.
is like
On a tiny journey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like The Weeknd and Gunna's album came out on the same day, and that morning I decided to listen to. I usually listen to stuff that's gonna like allow my my heart rate to continue to stay up. So I listen to a lot of stuff around like 1:30, Future, Big Sean, like.
Right.
Kanye, but I listened to The Weeknd's album Lifting, and that was intense because it was like, first off, my whole like workout was kind of thrown off because I usually am on like I'm on my regular playlist, so I didn't know what was coming next. So I was kind of like starting to groove a little bit in the gym, while it was on, and also just kind of tapped into just there's so much nuance in my mind. I'm like, a lot of the kids that are growing up now really don't know like the impact. They know who Michael Jackson is, but they don't know like how impactful he was.
Yeah.
So to hear them like
everyone finds out.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah.
You find out. But it's just like reintroducing that sound to even my ears. I was like, oh shit! Like it made me want to go back and listen to Mike. Like I started listening to
Dude,
whatever the Postmortem album that I just totally ditched over when it came out.
dude, I can't feel my
it's
face.
good.
Can't feel my
Yeah,
face.
it's
Whatever the name of
good,
that
More
song.
than Mike.
I'm
You what?
that his
I missed that
first
too.
huge hit. Can't feel my
Yeah,
face or
dude.
whatever. What I can't remember the name of the
Hit
song.
me in my face.
Yeah, that's it.
Can't feel my
Weeknd?
face.
Oh,
Yeah,
you talking about
dude,
Weekend?
that
Yeah.
was that.
So
Okay.
banger, dude.
First of all, High for This was far
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't argue
yeah,
that's his
yeah.
first hit, but go ahead.
His first
This was
crossover huge
pod,
hit.
you
Yeah,
know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Mhm.
After the
Yeah,
first
totally,
trilogy
totally.
thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was first, right?
Oh,
The
yeah. Yeah, far
yeah,
after.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Far out. Oh, yeah, man.
House of
Yeah,
Blues.
yeah.
5 or 6 albums before that. Bro, Hospital Williams,
Yeah.
Echoes of Silence, Thursday,
Dude.
Kissland.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
that
that shit was
song
fire.
was the one that like I was like, okay, I get it now. He's like a Michael Jackson fucking aficionado. That was the one that solidified it for me because it was like it has such a fucking MJ like dance vibe to it. Like like it could have its own.
Even his
groove and
ad libs are the
everything,
same. Like,
Yeah,
even his
yeah.
ad libs are the same. A lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
so tight. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he really.
He's like if Mike was like parental advisor.
Yeah. If Mike was talking about the fish.
You know, like 2022
Yo.
Mike, really, honestly. If Mike was alive now and like he'd be like, we're popping pills. Like
I was gonna say I can't even like.
You know, I'm saying,
But he gave him that
reversing.
They gave him that reverse aging, serum.
He did a lot of hyperbolic.
Dude, have you seen that video of him?
it is Mike.
One of
They
those,
gave
what is
Mike
it?
the wrong shit, man. Whatever that was. What's it called?
Yeah, man.
Propanol?
Fentanyl, dude.
Fentanyl,
Wasn't
right?
it?
No. It's something else. It's called like Propanol or something like that.
Propanol?
Like, I think it was some kind of painkiller. I could
Oh,
probably
it's
look
a
it up.
sleeping
Propanol, I think, is a blood pressure medication.
Well, we're probably getting off.
He probably
But
had a lot
it
of
also
a lot of blood
probably
pressure.
has like a lot of other properties to it. Yeah.
Drugs. Oh yeah, we're all smoking some sort of vaporizer, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Okay, Propofol. That's what it was. Yo, your boy.
Propanol.
I was on it. Did I say that? Or did I say Propanol?
Oh, you?
yeah.
Propanol. And I was wrong too. It's propanolol is what I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, by the time Mike died, though, no disrespect to my boy.
I was gonna
but
say,
he was
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't even
Like,
imagine.
he was. That was a sad thing to watch, but I felt like he might have been little got some speed bump.
Yeah.
Kind of
Well, yeah.
Talk about an
Speed
influence, though, huh?
Yeah. Like life speed wobble. They're tough.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, undeniable, right?
Well, that's the thing.
Like,
Apparently,
yeah.
he really did have pain, like some kind of physical pain going on, right? And like, for instance, like Prince, I think jacked up his hip and then got on the pain meds too. Like he jacked up his hip performing, and then was on some kind of painkiller. He got by fentanyl, and then propofol got Michael. But I think it was the doctor. Anyways, this is all alleged.
Public knowledge.
Because I'm not intimately aware, but I was just curious.
It's so sad, man. It's so tragic because it's just like they didn't have anybody to check on him, and make sure that whoever else was around him was like, doing the right shit.
Maybe they did. It's just once you get to a certain point, you have people that are enablers, right? And so I think that's a big part of it too. Like Mike's story is super fucked up. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but he was like, pretty much whipped into being he's a child star, and then a teen star, and then an adult star, and
dude. Okay,
his influence is intense. You what?
This is an interesting kind of concept here. Is like he basically was sacrificed to the entertainment gods. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. His entire life was about entertainment, and was like not quite a slave, but it almost seemed like it was like
A puppet of sorts.
kind of put on him. And I don't know that I didn't see the documentary about like the whole controversy about his whole situation with the kids and all that stuff. I'm not very aware. I just know
Big Daddy Joe
music and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think about that with artists quite often is, what are you giving to your art? Like, how far are you willing to go, or how far are people willing to push others, for entertainment? Like, think about elephants in the circus. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys live a life of servitude, and are conditioned to be performers, in a circus. Like what kind of conditioning did Michael go through? And
Yeah, I think it's a lot different now, though, because we're aware. Yeah,
Well,
bro, it's
that's
whole
valid.
childhood. What were you going to say, though, Drew? I cut you off.
no, go ahead. Yeah, no, it's just something I think about sometimes. Like, have you guys ever seen that movie Mother? Like, in that movie Mother, okay, really
I
good
haven't seen it
movie.
yet.
Jennifer
I'm gonna
Lawrence in
spoil
that
it
one?
here a little bit, but it's been out for a while, so spoiler alert. At the end, it's
It's
about
Aronofsky, right?
I think so. I can't remember the
Yeah,
director,
it's
but
Darren Aronofsky.
it was where the artist gave everything, including their child, like to the masses, right? And like, and he kind of like went with it, like to feed his ego, or so you're just like, how far are artists willing to go and in order to give of themselves and to perform, or be forced to perform? It's just an interesting, how far are you willing to go until it's like not yours anymore? It belongs to the people. Did it ever belong to you? Like,
I think, when it comes to Mike, it's like, how much do you value the outcome, right? And if you don't necessarily know what the outcome is or what the goal is behind you achieving the success, you're kind of just on this hamster wheel like he was. It was just like, that's all he knows. That's all he does. That's all his family does. So he didn't really get to, like, look out and be like, is there another life? Or, am I just a fucking puppet? Like, we as artists, like, we get to kind of see a lot of this, obviously a lot of this, the shortcomings of music and its history, just entertainment in general, and we get to like pick and choose where we put our dip our fingers. A lot of us are, still trying to get to. Well, none of us are signed, right?
Yeah.
So we don't really know what that's like either. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing to think about, because I think about this too. So one thing I think about is like, so I went to On the Run too. So B&J is one of the best concerts I've ever been to. Super stoked. It's in Seattle. And like, I just remember like, everybody's there to see these guys perform. And like, I remember when I got there, people were like screaming just to touch them. And I'm like, what are they trying to grab? I always think about like, what are you reaching for greatness? Like when fans are like trying to grab your sweaty, towel, and you're like, oh, throw, a bottle at them, and they're just like, they love it. You're just like, what
weird.
Are they reaching for? What are they trying to?
I've never had that compulsion in my life to be like, I'm gonna like reach towards someone I don't know. Yeah, I've never had that in my life, like ever. It's weird to me too, man. It's a good point. I've never had that compulsion, ever. It seems so
That's
crazy.
another interesting point too.
Man.
Is it's like how much artists are objectified as well, and like that
True.
sort of a boundary isn't necessarily respected at all. Actually, I mean, up until recently. But what happened to Drew?
Can you imagine if somebody just walking down the street and knowing that people would just come up and touch you?
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Well, dude, that's how.
Like, I'm just walking down the street and being like, no, because these people are just going to want
That's
to
how
touch me.
Kanye got in
Like,
trouble a week ago or whatever. That's how he got, because
Oh yeah, he did knock somebody out.
yeah,
didn't he?
because some guy is coming up to him at 3 a.m. when he's like clearly not in the mood and like just like instigating him, like.
Right.
And Kanye's crazy, so like obviously like it's his fault or whatever. But dude, if you're in that position, you have to deal with so many people trying to exploit you constantly. Like that's fucking
but what are they?
And if somebody's just running up on you.
What are they going after, right? So what are they trying to consume? Like they want to watch. They want to watch you. They want to consume every little bit. They want your like essence. Like
That's that deep shadow, like deeper psychological sort of aspect to like, the consumer and the artist relationship. Like that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's always fascinated me.
Or the
clout.
clout. Yeah, because I think there's like a certain culture of like, oh, I saw Kanye the other day. Yeah, I touched him. Like, it was okay.
And
Like,
you
he
touched
said
him?
hi. He said hi. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah.
You just
Straight up. Like, people would be at the concert and be like, yo, we were front row. Like, yo, he dapped me up. Like, yo,
Yeah.
I touched him or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
that's like a kind
to
of
me,
thing
best
too,
case
you know what I
scenario
mean?
is they're
Like,
reaching out their hands to hopefully get a 5. I don't know what else. Like you see on TV, like when they bend down, it's like one person gets the 5, like 10 other people get like a touch of their body, which is weird to me.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. So I have an idea. what is this the closest that people will ever get to greatness? You know, like for their or perceived greatness.
No,
like significance. You
no.
know what I'm saying?
I don't
like,
think
and so. And so people are representative. Like, and you're thinking obviously of your perspective, but I'm trying to put myself in the mind of somebody that is like really trying to like fan out hard and like will save, like will buy somebody's underwear and their like socks and stuff. And you're just like, okay, like what are we getting at here? You know, there is something kind of peculiar about that. Not to, I don't know, like be too judgy, but I don't know. I just always find that really, really interesting.
I don't think people think that deep, honestly. Most people, they're like, I just want to like be in the aura of someone great, you know, just in your energy. Like a lot of people aren't like that. I think it's mainly just like I want to be the first to go get it, you know? Like these dope new shoes just dropped. I want to be the first in line to go get that. You know, I'm going to see Travis Scott. I want to be in the mosh pit and I want to touch him and I want his sweat to hit my face. It's like, you know, something just like Jaren said, it's like something to talk about, to rave about, to get more follows for.
Yeah. You know what? And I think you're onto something there too, because it's not all logical, because something happens when you hit a crowd, especially when you go to a concert and you hit that vibe.
Yeah.
And it's like
primal, bro. There is something primal. Even you see somebody that you like and you're just jacked up and you're like, yes, dude, like you grab, there's a gravitational pull.
Yeah, you know? And there is something really interesting, magical about it. Dude, I need to get to a concert, dude. Because you guys went to that Cardi concert, and it was COVID time.
We went to Nas, too.
C19.
Yeah, bro, still. Omicron, dude.
So we went to two concerts
Omicron,
in
dude.
that. Me and Adam went to
you
two
saw some
concerts.
shit in
Omicron,
Vegas,
dude.
too, didn't you?
Shit, motherfucker.
Yeah, bro. We saw Bruno
you
Mars
saw
in
Silk Sonic?
Vegas. And,
Dude, tell me about that,
yes,
man.
sir.
Because I actually love that collaboration, actually. I think...
Did they put
And
the whole
I love
album
that they're
come out?
friends.
too, bro.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it did. And that whole album is
I only heard the
slamming, dude. It's maybe not even low-key. No, the shit is fire. The shit is fire. It's exactly what you'd think it would be, you know? Like, they meet at such a wonderful intersection of, like, funk and groove and, like, shit.
Well, dude, they recorded the entire thing on tape, man. They recorded the entire thing. Yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
right.
that makes perfect
They
sense.
like
you know?
went out of their way to make
It
it
just is
like sound
good
authentically like from that era, from
I
like
wonder how
early
they did that.
70s.
Yeah.
What?
So do you think they recorded on tape and then they uploaded that recording and put it to a wave or something? And then,
They'll do some initial processing and compression like in analog, and then upload track by track. Yeah,
And then digitize that.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
It really
it
does.
makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It makes a big.
I gotta get you guys'
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, I gotta get you guys' thoughts on this too, because that brings me to one of the prompts that I had put in the spreadsheet, which was formatting. Like, what is your preference in sound coming off of a digital copy, something that was made digitally, or like vinyl or cassette tapes, or even CDs have their own sound quality, and you come up in a certain era that might speak to you. So I'm curious, like, what y'all's preference is, because some people are like vinyl heads, like they're like fuck everything else but vinyl. You know what I mean? Like, some people love a good tape compression. So I'm interested to hear what you guys' preferences are. If you could listen to anything, what would it be?
At this point, I think vinyl's ubiquitous enough as like a growth industry that like I'm always gonna go for vinyl first, because it comes with digital, and I like vinyl a lot. So I feel like you're also paying the artist more when you buy their merch. And also, it brings back like the physical like relationship to the music, which is really interesting too. I think, like because it's like You know, like you touch, you feel, you open, you smell. Like, you know, there's something super visceral about records, I think.
Oh yeah, Matt, you gotta remind me to have a conversation with you afterwards, because right now I'm branding a hotel in LA on Sunset Boulevard, and the whole entire idea of the branding is that tactile experience of music. Of like,
did you hear me
going
start
to
to
the
say
CD store,
tactile?
going to the vinyl store.
I
and,
almost said I was. I almost said.
I was
tactile.
literally like, "Oh my god, it's
Yeah,
the most
like...
perfect." I don't even want to, but we'll talk about it later because I do want to hear preferences on the format, but I want to follow up with you about
I almost feel like it's good for the podcast too, but yeah, for sure. Because dude, like I started a record label just to like push vinyl for some like experimental and jazz bands, basically, and it was just for that reason, just to make sure that it was like captured in that format, you know.
Yeah. So what's so special about it to you, then?
Everything that we just discussed, I think that, and also the bass is way better. I mean, like, it sounds like super full, and also like there is something about like the ritual of like putting a record onto a turntable, pressing the button, you know, if it's a 45, putting on like, you know, the spacer and then changing the motor. If you have a belt drive, if you have you know, like a direct drive, you know, like, sorry, I'm going too nuts with it.
Problem.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say.
What do you think, Christian? Like, what's your?
I think vinyl is probably the best. CDs are probably better than they're probably better than like iTunes or something because the quality is higher. But I just do digital. I mean, like, the digital's easier. I don't have a record player right now. I have a ton of vinyl stored away somewhere, but I just it's a lot of space and work. You know.
Yeah.
I could just get everything on YouTube or something. Like, if I want to see
lot
it,
of
I'll just go on
space,
YouTube.
bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of kind of like happy accidents I feel like that happen with vinyl. But you know, it's something I haven't listened to because I have a big fondness for the Walkman. So like, I was a big like Crisscross.
Apes are big again too, though.
You know, Green Day, Dookie.
Bro.
Even my like, I think what was the last? I had a Will Smith album. Or like on tape. But you know what? I haven't heard a lot of is like 8-track, right? So like, I'm like, what does that even sound like? I don't know what it's.
I can confidently say I've never heard.
I've heard a lot of 8-tracks.
I want to, but I don't even know what they sound like.
So I'm just like,
Does anybody?
Is there some emulator or something?
I
don't know if there's an emulator, but I mean,
That's a good question.
It's basically like a cassette. It's just a different format of cassette.
Yeah.
And it like, I think just also with like the stereos of the day, like they sounded I guess the actual like speakers sounded tingy, and then that was even more tingy. And dude, one of my good friends bought a 1975 Mercury Cougar that was all white with whitewashed tires. I mean, it was a fucking boat. It was a pimp mobile. I mean, like, it was crazy. All white leather inside and everything. 8-track. And so we had like a bunch of 8-tracks to use in his car. But it was like a like rotation of 10 of them.
How did they sound?
Terrible. Because also like it was the same like speaker, like the speakers hadn't been updated. So like the speakers from back then kind of sucked.
Okay, well we would have to.
Yeah. I feel like 8-track was like
what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Music. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, actually,
absolutely like thought it was the shit, but like nobody used it, and nobody used it, but then nobody used it for like 2 months. Like, and then it was just obsolete. Like, it came out for 2 months.
I was going to say it's like Atari, actually.
So,
like the actual cassettes are like Atari, like the same size as Atari cartridges were. It's fucking weird. Yeah.
I think it's the Neo Geo like effect.
Oh, Neo Geo.
Oh yeah,
or Laserdisc.
Right.
Remember there was some game, Laserdisc, with like a lizard on it that you would be like, "Oh, this is made from lasers." Like when CDs first came out, kids, like I remember those days. Like freaking A, I thought I was the most badass dude when I had my skip free. I had one of them no skips. Like it was like one of those beefy yellow guys. Like. The clamps,
clamps on them,
staying solid, no skips, can go jogging, and you going.
Shit weighed like 12.5 pounds.
You should go find one and pick one up. You could find one on Craigslist or like on eBay or something. Pick one up and then like, dude, like record stores have like a lot of good cassettes, like right now, like that's another like market again right now.
Ooh. This is another question.
Merch,
I want to hear your take on this too. Like obviously what you're, and then Jay too. Like what you guys think. But I wanted to kind of piggyback on that with. Anyways, what are you guys formats? Like favorite formats?
I'd say, man, right now I love the convenience of just Bluetooth and MP3, bro. Like, that's pretty much it. But like, I was definitely a big a Walkman kid. I think the first CD I ever had in my possession, I think I stole from my dad. It was Busta Rhymes' Anarchy, and I would play that just on repeat.
Was that? Put your eyes where your hands can see, or put my hands where.
Put your hands where my eyes can see. I think that one was Extinction Level.
Extinction Level event.
But like the cover art on that Anarchy was insane. It was like blood red. This is around the time where like DMX was out too, so everybody was just covered in blood. Fucking blood and barbed wire. It's just nuts, dude. That whole album's crazy.
Busta was a savage. I mean, he still is a savage, but
dude, he's got a new record coming, man.
Hey, yo, I mean,
he teased it on Instagram like last week.
Did you listen to his last album?
I did not.
I didn't.
Extinction Level 2. It's good. It's good.
I think I might.
How was it?
It's solid. It's pretty good. I think sonically, it's like a guy like that, you know, it's just like all those legacy acts, you know, they've been around for, you know, close to 2, almost 3 decades. So it's like, what the fuck else can you do? And it was honestly like his version of Compton to me, where it was just like fucking crazy production. But honestly, he's spitting bars on there, man. It's a good album. I think it's like his Don FM, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Extinction Level Event 2. I liked it.
So it's a loose concept album?
It is. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. It talks about like even like the first song. It's like 4 minutes long of him talking about like the Book of Genesis and aliens and shit. Like Busta Rhymes is a dope lyricist, bro. Busta Rhymes is a dope fucking lyricist, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you talk about crackheads, aliens, and the Book of Genesis all in one fucking, like, just like one bar, dude?
Damn. Yeah, that is Busta. Dude, yeah, those visuals are crazy. This is when they were really going ham on the music videos, dude. Like, or it was like right on the tail end. I feel like the
eccentric,
the Big Pimpin' era, like, kind of was like the cap. Like Missy Elliott used to do big videos, and then it's like
Hype Williams.
When did the big video die? Because I know Busta used
Pac and Biggie.
Pac was like,
it didn't die. You saw Certified Lover Boy, man. I mean, like,
I didn't see.
That was good, dude. That video's great.
Didn't see that.
That music video is great, dude. If you're talking about like,
I think videos now are like any other video.
Yeah.
No. But
like amongst the ether.
I know you hate Drake, and we'll talk about that.
Back in the day, you really.
Yeah,
I know you hate Drake, and we'll talk about it because no. We'll talk about it because like I have trouble with Drake at times. but I like him, and that video's hilarious. But what I was trying to speak to was like the production of that video. That was like a multi-million-dollar fucking video. I mean, like look at all the sets, the extras, the makeup, like everything, even the lighting. I mean, like, oh yeah,
you got that
100%,
production,
100%, 100%.
Any slight, yeah, he's got the money though, motherfucker. He should make music videos like that.
Yeah,
Nah,
no
dude,
shit, no shit. But I was saying,
Nah, he honestly should,
I was
like-
mentioning that just because it's like the big music video isn't over, I don't think, because that was a huge music video, I feel like.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see the analytics on who is watching music videos and how that.
I watch
because,
music videos all the time.
I check, sort of. It's interesting for me to hear that. I totally believe you. Like, I know, like, our friend Jimmy also watches a lot of, like, you know, if he's interested in it, I think people who consume through YouTube will automatically go to the videos. I would, obviously, if I was looking up like that. If I'm getting music via Spotify or if I'm getting music via just me looking up and checking for it, for some reason, I'm looking for the audio first, and I never follow up with the music video. So I don't watch a lot of music videos, oddly enough. Like, I hear a lot of new albums, but I never think, oh, I like the single, let me go watch the video. And maybe I should, you know? It's just, to me, I feel like I maybe am default more towards Drew, where you're like, the music video is over. Because I haven't seen a music video that I've wanted to watch over and over and over again, honestly, since...
Oh, wow. Yeah, dude, that video is so
I've been doing this and serving
good,
sandwiches. But, like...
Dude,
yeah,
that
Humble
video,
Humble was the last
one of my
video that I
favorite
watched.
videos of all time.
I went out of my
like,
way to
by
watch it
far.
again and again
I
and
fucking
again.
love that
One where he
video.
had everybody like,
Gotta be.
Yeah.
The I Legend thing.
Yeah, that was so fire. And the heads on fire and the pausing, like, and the Pope at the very. I've been like that was the dopest.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
it was
can't
super
agree
dope.
more, man. Like, that's one of my favorite videos of, like, yeah, easily of the past 10 years, easily of the past 30 years, actually. That video is amazing. I love that video. Like, but actually, what you were saying, like, I'm the opposite. I actually learn about people through music videos more than I do just like tracks sometimes.
Cool.
You know, like, I learn a lot just from like crate digging, and like I'll just like, this seems interesting, I don't know what it is, and then I'll go and like listen to it, and then I'm like, okay, it's cool. I mean, like, 8 times out of 10 it's trash, but like that 20% is pretty fucking great. I mean, like,
20% works every time, man.
yeah, exactly. 1 out of 5, man. But like, I feel like, fuck, I lost my train of thought. I don't even care. Whatever. What were you talking about?
So we were talking about music videos because I was thinking of Extinction Level Event as like one on the tail end of like the big video era. Like, and this was like Give Me Some Mo. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Give me some more.
Yo,
Yeah,
that video's
dude.
dope
Come on,
as
bro.
well, man.
Yeah, Give Me Some Mo.
Come on,
Hype
dude.
Williams.
Niggas need that. Give me some mo.
Fucking Hype
Like,
Williams.
That song was so tight, dude, and the video was crazy. Like, so classic, Busta. But yeah, anyways, I was just thinking of like that. What was that inflection point? Because, you know, with the music industry now, it's like it's more about volume and then pushing out content, less like big production, because you're pushing one album and you're going to tour for 2 years. It's like, let's and then you're going to make 2 or 3 videos or something like that are going to be on MTV. Now it's like you need a video for every single song, and the budget is going to be $300. And, you know, like, and we're just going to get it up on the tube and get that content going, baby. Hit the street.
I think it really. So I don't mean to cut you off at all, Drew. I just, you know, like doing what I do. Just I'm a graphic designer, and I have seen, you know, on a daily basis when we're working with media and just what everybody puts out. I think that has a lot to do, to your point, with like You don't need 3 massive videos for 3 singles over 2 years. Like, the 24-hour news cycle is a real thing, man. Like, in our digital age, we get bombarded with shit, you know? So while everybody has a fucking 4K camera on their phone, shooting a video just means less. It's not that big of a deal. Like, if it's a cool song, you should have a video. Why not? You can make it fucking right now. Someone can make it on their phone, legit. Just shoot and edit it on their phone and make you a fucking music video tonight if you wanted to. You know what I mean? And if not, if you wait 2 months, that single is going to be nothing. It's going to be 2 months late. You know, you need to have, like, some visuals now.
I think this is also specifically like in the pop and rap category too, because it's all like that's the hot shit, right? Like if it's not in that category, it doesn't matter as much.
And there's some bleed.
That's what I think, at least. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, that gets into, like, the bleed now, because I feel like I was listening to this conversation on this podcast the other day, and they were talking about how, like, where are the great male R&B artists right now, because the women are, like, killing it right now. And I was like,
the
that was an interesting, it was an interesting pocket. Like, I was like, that's an interesting question. One of the guys that was on there was saying that, like, well, like now an R&B artist is also a rap artist, so it's like it's kind of been like 2 lanes like squished into one, so it becomes like
thank you, Nelly.
Get fewer people standing out. But I do fuck with stuff.
That's a weird. I would be interested. Will you send us that link?
Yeah, I'll be. Okay. I'll have to plug it, but I would just. I mean, think about it. I think that is kind of the future, is kind of hybrid, right? I mean, there's less like bands, there's less boy bands, there's less multi-artist groups, right? Except for the K-pop. Like, I'm not really tagged in K-pop, to be honest, but I see just a bunch of cute Korean ladies and dudes that just are like packaged in there and just like pop out the music. And but yeah, it's different. I think American R&B has changed for sure. Like, you know, I fuck with Bryson Tiller. If you create a Bryson Tiller, I'm with it, you know? Like, you know, shout out Bryson Tiller.
There's a lot of great male R&B artists right now, though. I just think nobody wants to be the man. It pisses me off. Because at this point, I don't consider The Weeknd to be R&B at this point. And he used to be, in my mind, he was an R&B man. And Frank Ocean was an R&B man for a while, but he fell off. So it's like you got your Giveons, your Lucky Days,
Sego,
Mac Ayerses. You got a lot of Sanford. You got a lot of really great James. Fauntleroy, man, and Blake too, and it's just like a lot of people who are really talented.
The Black Vanguard.
Even Frankie, I still consider it. You know, I include him in this conversation.
Yeah,
you know, why don't you want to be the man? There is no. I
think it's R. Kelly's fault, man. You know? He was the king of R&B for so long, and then Chris Brown was right after that, and kind of just like we're. Dude, and then Usher was like,
dude, did you
like who was the last one? Chris Brown was like the last like R&B dude to like really
D'Angelo,
and then D'Angelo,
he was before Chris Brown.
Yeah, bro.
Did you listen?
Way before.
And that's like Neo Soul too, man.
Did you listen? Well, I mean, I guess it's technically R&B, but like I guess it's more soul.
Drake was running R&B.
Find Your Lovin' is a straight up R&B song, bro. Let's go,
so
dude.
Here's the question. Okay, here's the real question, okay, guys? Like, who in your right mind is a man? We know we got a bunch of men here, okay? Cisgendered, I think,
Where's the drop that's like manly men right here? Like the what was that show? What was that?
Write that down, dude. Write that down.
Do you know what I mean?
Right now, dude.
That's it.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Jared?
Yeah.
You know what show that I'm talking about? It was like a Chuck Lorre show with. It was the Charlie Sheen show. Anyhow.
Okay. So
no idea.
Question. Here's the question. You're a man, okay, and you are a world famous R&B singer ultimate sex machine is basically what, and like lover, like emotional, the alpha, like number one sexy cute man for like women to adore. And you're gonna go through the
You mean age
gauntlet
18?
industry for 25 years and not get a little weird. This is why I think Usher's run is incredible, because he's like LeBron James, because everybody else is falling off the wagon, and Usher seems
Don't
like
forget about Omarion.
But
either.
Usher
Omarion
really hurt T-Pain's feelings, man. And dude,
and the
come on,
only
bro.
reason you talking about Omar is because
Come on,
of
bro.
Omicron, bro. Like, because he came back around
bro.
with the Omicron.
Nah, bro. He's been
Have you seen the touch
he's been
video?
dropping he's
Come
been
on,
dropping bangers since like all of COVID, man. You gotta go back and listen to some Omarion, bro.
Dude, I love
But,
Omarion, but I'm saying, like, he's taking a big, like, reduction in profile. Like, where
I think all of R&B has, though, because of, like you said, like, the merging between, like, it's melodic rap. It's not R&B anymore. So, like, when that became the thing, everyone's like, ooh, I want that.
Yeah.
So now it's like,
it works.
You're not gonna get your crooners, right? You're gonna have somebody like Jacquees, who like came out with a whole album, a whole campaign stretch saying I'm the king of R&B, but it doesn't make sense because people aren't looking for just like strictly R&B. They're looking for like Khalid, but then who's gonna have Khalid featured on the song? It's gonna be somebody like Jeremiah. Yeah, but even Jeremiah, bro. Jeremiah's like Bryson Tiller. Motherfucker's got bars and he can sing. You know what I mean? It's like Ty Dolla $ign, same dude. He's like classically trained singer. He can play every fucking instrument, but what does he make? Trap music. Like, but if you listen to a song like L.A., bro, off of his Free TC album, that's a full crazy R&B cut, bro. Jaron, you were saying something. Did you say something?
No, I was just
Jaron, please
say
say
something. Saying like that fucking J. Cole shit, you know. Back, can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
I'm having technical difficulties apparently.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah, your computer's just
dude.
Okay, so
what about Jidenna?
Jidenna's fire, dude, but same guy. You know, he's like a
Yeah.
So is that R&B? Though
he's African Drake, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's African Drake.
So is that R&B or is that pop? Is Drake pop or is he R&B and rap?
Pop is just popular music. So it's like, is that rap? Is it country? Is it like there's a pop sound, right? Christina Aguilera or like Britney Spears or like NSYNC, but like pop to me is like right now, if I think about pop, I'm thinking of like maybe
the most money behind it.
That's what sucks about that, though. That's what sucks about that.
Pop is the most money behind it, basically, is the way that I look at it.
So like Ariana, Katy Perry.
I look at it as like, do you have, it's tough to fault an artist for, I feel the same way about Travis Scott. It's tough to fault an artist for everybody else catching up to them. You know what I mean? Like, if you really have your own thing, like I think Drake really did have his own thing. I think Travis Scott really did have his own thing too. But once that thing becomes the thing and everybody catches up to you, in my mind, it's like, what do you do? Like, Kanye had that happen, and Kanye took a left turn, 808s, boom. You know what I mean? Like, how do you continue to be on the forefront of shit and give yourself longevity as opposed to just now doing what you've always done? Everybody's.
I think it's got to be collabs. Like, that's how you stay fresh. I mean, being real strategic with collabs, to me, is how you stay relevant, like, now. I mean, the ones that don't really fit a different, like, zone, like, for instance, Nas doesn't usually do features, and he doesn't feature typically a lot of artists. And so, like, unless they're some R&B cast sometimes, let me make sure I'm getting that right. But, like, he occupies a different space. I feel like young cats aren't really listening to Nas. Now, this is my gut telling me this. Like, this is not my, like, data-driven, like, take. So, and the reason I feel like that, because he's not really making music. He's making mature music. He's making grown man-ass music at this point. And then also, like, kind of throwback music. And so I don't know. I'm not sure, like, as an artist, like, versus like a Jay-Z or a Drake or a Snoop who will like hop on a feature with a up and coming artist. I don't know. I just feel like
this is why producers are dope, bro.
Kanye,
straight up, because
for real, he had a bunch of young cats on Donda, like, and he's staying relevant, you know. So,
but this is why producers are dope, bro. Because like you were onto something there when you were talking about Nas and how, you know, how digestible and palatable his style of rapping and delivery is. But then if you listen, but then that's what I'm saying. So that you listen to, did anybody listen to Big Sean and Hit Boy's album that came out right before Magic came out last year?
Yeah, I'm
So
really
it's-
digging Big Sean's trajectory the past couple of years, actually.
dude,
Like,
there's
for
that
real.
song with
Me too.
Nipsey that Big Sean has. Is
Well,
freaking dope.
that one, but also the one with ASAP Ferg, and that music video is fucking amazing, dude. Drew,
Berserk.
Are you talking about Detroit?
Berserk is incredible. Nah,
What?
so the project after that called it's called Chaos, I think, or no, it's called
Berserk.
No, oh, that song is called Berserk. But hold on, let me get the album.
Okay,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
deep
What You
reference.
Expect. What You Expect.
What
So
You
that
Expect.
project, which is like, trap heavy,
Yeah.
which is that I was mainly just saying like it's dope. That this is why producers are dope, because Hit Boy created, a timeless sound with Nas, but then could do like that shit with Big Sean. That's just like right in your face and in your chest. You know what I mean?
Dude, Hit Boy
It's
is
like
everywhere
different
this
frequencies.
Year, this past
And he's
year.
been around
He's all over
since
the place.
2011, so Big Sean's not new anymore. I mean, he's 10 years deep in the game, at least in the major
You call it
game.
a vet? Would you call that a vet at this point?
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely.
I think so too.
I think if you get to
Definitely,
your third
dude.
album, if you get to a third album, like a major album, like you are a vet at that point. How many? What do
It
you? What's
kinda-
your guys' take on that?
It kind I feel like it kind of all it kind of like depends on how long those 3 albums are spread out. I feel like years kind of matter in like a very
Like a
like
JLX situation.
yeah, well, yes, but it could go the other way too. It could go the other
Yeah.
way too, though. But like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think, to our point earlier, rap is such a young man's game. It's such a who's hot now, and if there's a track that comes out tomorrow, then we forget about yesterday sort of environment. That if you have 5 years in the game and you're still relevant, you're doing pretty good. If you have fucking 10 years in the game, like, how many more years do you want? Rappers die every year. Not reality, not, you know what I mean? I just, you hear somebody who's hot last summer, you don't even know what they've done lately. So to be 10 years, I'm like, yo, props. If I'm still checking for your album after 10
Yeah,
years,
that's
like, I
kind of.
fuck
I'm
you know
with
what I
you
mean?
on that. I was gonna say the same thing. I feel like there's something about the number 3 in terms of albums and output, in terms of years, that I feel like is like healthy. If you reach a certain level, and yeah, so it'd be like 9 years. But I'm 100% with you on that one. That I would be like, if I fucked with you before and I'm fucking with you after 10 years, I fuck with you. Like, that's like it becomes part of your identity in the sense that, like, oh yeah, I like this shit, you know?
Yeah, I know we've been talking about rap a lot, but I just want to ask you guys this: like, what are your influences outside of rap? Rap and hip hop, because we all make a lot of like kind of trap heavy, hip hop inspired stuff, but there's also a lot of influence there
Me
too.
personally, I get a lot of influence from like Daft Punk and Justice. So like I love how their kicks hit like in that Parisian house kind of music. Like the kicks like punch through. The compression is really solid, and then there's really thick like and like rough bass lines like and that like punch through, and are aggressive, and so I really kind of like that sound. Like it's so I get big influences from that. I mean, and then I've really been I mean, you guys probably know I fuck with Khruangbin so heavy, like that I'm like, at least on the chill vibe. And actually, Rekkids, you put me onto them.
I was
and
gonna say,
like,
you remember who put you onto them?
I was like, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm like, and they're like maximum chill. So I really, I dig those guys.
Dude, they're great. Yeah, dude. Maximum chill is actually, they should bottle that shit. Because they are. I mean, like, they're ambient. They aren't ambient genre-wise, but, like, they're such, like, good vibe music to have on whenever you're doing whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Christian?
Ambient. I'm really inspired by like 2814 and HKE and Telepath, which is 2814 together, and like Sandgam and CMD 094. Those are all like vaporwave ambient, and then I used to listen to a lot of house and like deep house, like Dead Mouse, Moonbeam, like a lot of trance, a lot of techno, a lot of dubstep. My favorite dubstep artist by far is Josta. He's got some great stuff.
Yeah.
Who?
Josta. He ain't really coming out with. He releases like once in a blue moon these days. He used to drop a lot, but he's some Greece guy, some guy in Greece.
I'm gonna have to check out Vaporwave. I'm not familiar with that.
You know, like Macintosh. What is it? Macintosh Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Macintosh.
Yeah. I just like I try to listen to stuff that like is interesting, and I mean I listen to a lot of trap and all that bit. Yeah, I used to really be into like Linkin Park and like Slipknot and all that. Like when I first started getting into music, iTunes recommended me that, and like The Prodigy, like
Iowa is one of the best like big metal records ever, and as far as The Prodigy goes, what was the name of the record with the crab on the front of it?
Fat of the Land.
Yeah. Fat of the Land. Yeah, that was so fucking big in the 90s, and that was big and good though, like legit good, like because it actually like introduced America to like the UK like rave scene shit, you know, that was happening. Because dude, Detroit techno and Chicago house were the only things that were happening at that time in the United States, and then NWA, that was it. Like nothing else was. There was like disco, there was other synth stuff, but there wasn't anything like electronic dance music at all that I know of.
What about you guys? Jay, Suave.
I mean, I listen to a lot of jazz, man. I listen to classic jazz. I have an ongoing. I'm an iTunes guy, so I've been slowly over the last year. I had some computer problems, and I didn't have access to my library, so I started using Spotify. So now my Spotify is stacking up. I'll share a couple of playlists with you guys because I've got a couple of ongoing playlists that are starting to get pretty respectable, you know. And a lot of it is just jazz, man. It's new jazz too. I mean, I love a good Terrace Martin, Kamasi Washington, fucking even some more experimental shit, Flying Lotus, Mansur Brown, like just some shit that's just like super chill to speak to a lot of what people have said tonight. Like, I always like to say, like, you know, anybody can make like a Friday or Saturday night record, but like what I want to do is make a Tuesday record, man. I want to make a Thursday record. Like, what do you want to listen to when you're actually just sitting down and living life? You know, you want to get up and go out, like we can do that, you know? But what do you want to just hear when you're actually living your life, man? And a lot of what I do, listen to when I do that is just it's down tempo jazz and chill rappers.
Yeah.
You know, Joey Badass, fucking this last Vince Staples
Yeah.
album, this last Isaiah Rashad
I
album.
love all that shit.
You know, so far.
Do you think your design background gives you kind of like that's where some overlap is? Because I feel like design's all about making everything feel comfortable in a spatial sense. And I feel like that probably can translate a little bit over to music.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think my inability to let small details go, which is the opposite side of the coin of like, you're willing to take the time to make it right? That's one side of the coin. And the other side is like, if things don't sound absolutely right, no, fuck that, I'm going back in, you know? So, that definitely overlaps with design. And it actually has some cool, you know, effects that I'm at least happy about in music, you know? Because a lot of times, like right now, like I said, right before we were logging on, I just was like working on some stuff before and feeling very inspired coming off of it. But, you go in, you try to polish things from a mastering sense or a mixing sense. And I've definitely had points in the past where it's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm let it go. I've tried it a million times. I can't get it to sound right. Fuck it. Fuck it. And then when I hear it, I always hear that one spot. I'm like, man, you got to do it. So, like, going back in and making sure that, you know, the process of polishing things, like, similar to visual shit.
Yeah.
Really, you know?
What would you say, Suave?
My influences, I guess on like any given day, man, I could be listening to like the Temptations, you know, or I could be listening to Zach De La Rocha and Rage Against the Machine. You know, that's like kind of like where my taste level lies. Like I used to listen to, there's a point in time where I even listened to country. I think I could attribute that to like my parents and family's eclectic taste in music. Because, you know, for me, I've always gravitated toward percussion and beats. So anywhere where I'm like fed that sort of rhythm or that specific cadence that I like, I gravitate toward. So like a song like Freak on a Leash by Korn is like one of those songs that just like from start to finish, I'm in it. You know what I mean? That's fucking...
Yeah.
That shit's so fucking sick. Fucking, you know, Misery Business by Paramore, or like fucking, man, what's another one? I don't know. I love Tame Impala. He like, I think he's a super interesting artist too, because he does like a lot of it's like new age, like neo funk, you know. But then he has like this kind of like Marvin Gaye-esque falsetto over it, which is like super dope, and it has like a nice little pocket. So yeah, my taste level is all over the place, man. I like pretty much anything and everything that's like soulful, psychedelic, harmonious, and it's got knock to it. So shout out to all the, you know, Cactus Jack, Travis Scott, Kanye West lovers. Bro, go back and listen to fucking Graduation, dude.
Shouts to Pookie,
Yeah,
dog.
dude.
Big D off 121st Street, nigga. You know
But
what
dude,
I mean?
Graduation though, like that album is nuts, bro. I went back and listened again so that I could, because after we had that argument,
It's my second favorite hip
after
hop
we had that
album of all
argument,
time,
I was like,
dude.
I gotta go back and
Number
listen,
two.
dude. But like listening to that was like the turning point. Oh my
Lamar
god, it's
Spider.
incredible.
Dude, I just had a
Incredible,
dream
bro.
about Graduation,
So far.
like yesterday, and
Did you?
yeah, and I woke up just contemplating that record.
Like your
I'm
actual
not
Graduation
even
or the
joking.
album?
I don't remember
It's so fire.
dreams, but when I do remember them, I remember them. I remember
What
just
song was
like
playing?
Good Morning, you know, like
Oh yeah,
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 I mean, like,
bro.
Take your pick, dude.
Yeah,
Good morning.
bro.
because I woke
Fire.
up and that was like going Good Morning. I'm like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
like you know, like yeah, a little on the nose, right?
Yeah, bro.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was. I think it was that, but it was also mostly like the visual component with Takashi.
The Bear. Yeah,
Well,
Murakami.
yeah,
Ooh,
Murakami.
That
Yeah.
song, and I wonder.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, dude, that song. Oh my god.
Yeah.
If you know
Yeah,
I
the glory.
what it means,
Great sample, dude.
Higher.
Dude.
dude. I want to trip shrooms on that album, bro.
With a super
Yeah, bro.
soft,
And it's all,
That was
like such a soft boot.
Yeah, bro.
Pillowy.
And
It was
white
like you
noise
hit
for
with
the
a pillow.
snare. It's just literally white noise.
Yeah. And the snare's
It's so
just static.
sick.
It's a static
It's
chop.
so sick, bro.
It's
so
no
sick.
attack on
I'm
it.
marking this clip so we can like post
So
it
dope.
later. Everybody's like, we have a bunch of schizophrenics on
Bro.
a Zoom call.
Yeah, but it's like
There's like no other way to like just make sounds come to life. with your hands.
But you saw everybody afterwards
Yeah.
came off the
Yeah,
camera
bro.
like, yeah, I know exactly what you're
They
talking
know.
about.
Everybody
Because
knows.
that shit was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely running up on it. I think I don't know anybody else.
wait, yeah, I got one. Yo,
Yeah.
I'm pushing P. Y'all pushing P?
Yeah, I'm pushing P, dude. I just found out about this shit. I've been hearing about P just because I listen to Larry June. He's always keeping it P.
He's always
And I'm
keeping
like,
it P, dude.
Like, always keeping it P. So I gotta be P at this point.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, bro. They gotta give LJ his flowers, man. Because pushing P is a strict derivative of keeping it P.
Push it
But
P.
like nobody pushing P. I don't really like it, honestly. I think it's overplayed already. It makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, that's
But the
right.
song's cool.
I was just saying that just because I was wearing a Portland hat, and we're Portland
Oh, you're
based.
pushing P, bro.
I'm pushing P. It was a dumb pun on my part, but yes,
Out
I'm
in LA. I couldn't even see what your
100%
hat
with
was.
I'm 100% with what you were just saying though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pushing P's for the kids.
Yeah, well, I know, because, like, okay, so I was talking to this artist on Instagram, and then because we reach out, this is through To The League, and which is our beat store, so check us out. But, and I was talking with him, and he just sends me a blue P, and I'm just like, and I'm a little older, I'm not the oldest, but hey, I'm not spring turkey. Not a spring turkey.
You're
Just
like,
like, I see this blue pea and I'm just like, what the fuck? I gotta look this shit up. I went, looked it up, and
That's how fast culture
I
spreads,
know,
bro. That's
man.
cool, though.
That was
To see that that's
crazy.
still happening,
Yeah.
because, like,
That was just
we
last
had those
Friday,
nomenclatures
man.
growing up.
It was
Yeah,
just
bro.
last Friday.
P, bro.
Yeah.
yeah, man.
P.
Yeah.
Keep it P.
We're keeping it P. Well, I think on that
Hey,
note,
Pusha T's album's gonna come out soon, too.
ooh,
Okay,
push.
Yeah,
Ugh.
dude.
Get it
Post
out.
raps. Talking about Push P, dude.
Push
Yeah. All right.
Push
that
a P.
P.
Push the
Push
P.
T.
Well, anybody want to plug anything? I know Jay, you got a project you just dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else
Oh,
got
yeah.
anything they want to plug
Yeah.
before we?
Wait, you just dropped a project?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Rap Tarot, bro. Rap Tarot.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Raptarot.com.
Yeah, little
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, bro.
rap tarot cards, man.
Yes.
raptarot.com for a set of tarot cards that are all rappers and
Yo,
R&B singers.
They're dope.
The goats are
So dope.
It is, man. It's actually pretty cool. Got some other non-card things too, prints, everything coming. So
Oh yeah,
cool art too,
dude.
Art's
Even if you don't
dope.
give a fuck
Art's
about tarot,
dope,
dude.
you just like rap.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Dude, it's so...
just do not underestimate
So
this guy.
sick,
He
dude.
spent like hours on every
Dude.
single image and
years, bro.
dope.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, 2
Yeah,
years
in
of
the
work.
making.
And so go support, man. Like raptarot.com, bro. Great work, man. You should be really proud, dude. It's
100%.
really cool.
Thanks,
And
bro.
it's just getting started. I mean, you could be a first. And, yeah. So,
Yeah, they just launched 2
dude,
weeks ago.
raptarot.com, man. Christian, you want to plug anything? Rekkids, Suave. I think you just dropped a single, right?
Yeah, just dropped
man.
Party of One. You can check that on all streaming services: Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon. I don't know what else, because nobody else listens to those apparently. But what else is there? Pandora, maybe YouTube.
Y'all on
And
SoundCloud?
then
Everyone on SoundCloud?
yeah, I've got SoundCloud too. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I guess we'll
We
link.
should have another-
We'll link our relevant stuff, right?
Yeah.
May as well.
Yeah.
Relevant stuff. So link in bio or link in the bottom of the thing. So
Down here.
down below. Hell yeah, man. Well, shit, guys. I think let's go ahead and wrap this up. Yo, it's been good chatting, everybody. Like connecting with our bros. We're gonna be back next week, so you guys are always welcome. We're gonna try to have more guests in the future, so just more creators chopping it up in the studio, keeping it real P always, keeping up a high fight. Yeah, anyways, much love. Everybody stay blessed.
Going to the
And yeah, man. Peace.